My name is Alan Cooper, and I'm here to show why this house believes that being a vegetarian is a better ethical choice than meat eating. I went ahead and defined ethics on dictionary.com as pertaining to or dealing with morals or the principles of morality. I defined morals as concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character. I'd like to move into my first argument to show that people weren't actually meant to eat meat. There's a frequently stated notion that eating meat was an essential step in human evolution. While this notion may comfort the meat industry, it's simply not true scientifically. Dr. T. Colin Campbell, professor at Cornell University and author of the book The China Study, explains that in fact we only recently, historically speaking, began eating meat, and that the inclusion of meat in our diet came well after we became who we are today. He explains that the birth of agriculture only started about 10,000 years ago. Paleontologist Dr. Richard Leakey, who explains what anyone who has taken an introductory physiology course might have discerned intuitively, that humans are herbivores. Leakey notes that you can't tear flesh by hand, you can't tear hide by hand. We wouldn't have been able to deal with food sources that required large canines. Although we have teeth that are called canines, they bear little resemblance to what an actual carnivore would have. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine President Dr. Neil Bernard says in his book, The Power of Your Plate, that early humans had diets very much like other great apes, which is, say, a largely plant-based diet. Research suggests that meat eating probably began by scavenging, humans eating leftovers that carnivores had left behind. However, our bodies have never adapted to it. To this day, meat eaters have a higher incidence of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and other problems. I would like to move on to my second argument and show that meat eating is bad for the environment. In 2006, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization report concluded that worldwide livestock farming generates 18% of the planet's greenhouse gas emissions. By comparison, all the world's cars, trains, planes, and boats account for a combined 13% of greenhouse gas emissions. Much of livestock's contribution to global warming comes from deforestation, as the growing demand for meat results in trees being cut down to make space for pasture or farmland to grow animal feed. Livestock takes up a lot of space, nearly 1/3 of the entire Earth's landmass. Animal waste generates nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas that has 296 times the warming effect of CO2. Cow flatulence, cows that produce methane when they flagellate, expel up to 200 liters a day. Given that there are 100 million cattle in the U.S. alone and that methane has 23 times the warming impact of CO2, that's a lot of gas that adds up. Water is another scarce resource that we will soon not have enough of in various areas of the globe. Grain-fed beef production takes 100,000 liters of water for every kilogram of food. Chickens take 3,500 liters of water to make a kilogram of meat. In comparison, soybean production uses 2,000 liters per kilogram. Rice takes 1,912, wheat 900, and potatoes 500 liters. My third argument is that killing animals is immoral. Farm animals such as chickens, pigs, sheep, cow are sentient living beings like us. They feel pain and pleasure. As human beings, it is our moral duty to inflict as little pain as possible for our survival. The way industrial farming and slaughterhouses go about treating these animals is cruel and unnecessary. No living thing should spend their entire life in a cage being abused, exploited, and finally killed. Thank you.